Okay. Welcome to our class. First day of class 2022 na, no? So, reviewin lang natin yung ating mga na-accomplish last year, no? So, last year, tayo ay nag-aral ng database. Meron tayong ginagamit na database which is yung Access at saka SQLite para sa mobile, no? Natuto tayong mag-normalize. Nag-normalization kayong activity, no? And at the same time, yung last is yung ERD, no? Yung ERD, tiningnan natin yung relationship ng mga mga field dun sa data, no? Tapos nilagyan natin ng function yung sa ating mga fields, kung anong klaseng data type, no? Whether that's long text or ano. So, yun yung mga natapos natin last time, no? Pinasubmit ko nga sa inyo yung inyong mga activities, which is yun yung ating gagawing midterms, no? Yun yung mga activities na pinagagawa natin, pinagpapakita nyo sa akin, sa mga ano natin. That will be our activities for last year, for your midterms. Now naman, since bago na yung topic natin, bago naman yung ating pag-uusapan ngayon, no? Okay. Natapos na yung ano natin. Pero actually, not necessarily bago. Parang refresher din, no? Dahil it's an introduction on how we are going to go deeper on database, no? Pahapyaw lang dahil ang susunod ay magko-code na tayo, no? So, magpo-program tayo sa database. Ay, ang galing-galing. O, diba? Matututo kayo mag-code sa database. Which is kung ano man yung ating ginagamit na database. Okay. So, bago tayo magsimula, meron lang akong konting problema para doon sa mga naka-mobile. Yung ating SQLite may error, no? Kung i-update nyo siya, i-update nyo yung SQLite, nag-e-error, no? Hindi siya magamit ng maayos. Nai-report ko na. So, medyo intayin lang natin na mag-respond para magamit natin ng maayos yung SQLite. Siguro yung developer ay nakabakasyon pa, kaya may ano pa rin, no? May problema pa rin. Hindi pa niya naaayos. Pero nai-report ko na yung issue. Kaya, hopefully, makapag-response. In the meantime, kung meron man tayong gagawing activity, gamitin muna natin yung Excel para dun sa mobile, no? Okay. So, with that, okay, let's start our discussion on our new topic, which is database management system. Okay, so full concentration na to. It's just an introduction into full programming ng database. Ayan. Okay? So, may papanood lang ako sa inyo. Niready ko na yung ating video. Ayan. Okay. Okay.
Hello everyone.
Wait lang. Nakikita nyo ba yung screen? Class?
Yes, po ma'am.
Okay, sige. Nood muna tayo.
Welcome to this video tutorial on Introduction to Database Management System by Simply Learn. In this session, we are going to learn about what is a database, what really is database management system, and how it replaces the flat file system. Then we will go through the components of DBMS and their applications, and a look at the popular database management systems. So hey everyone, I'm Abhisar from Simply Learn, and welcome to this video on Introduction to Database Management System. But before we begin, if you love watching tech videos, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update. In present time, every company generates and collects data. So to manage their databases, these companies possess database system. Let's take the example of Flipkart. Flipkart collects a huge amount of data, and to maintain and make the most out of that data, they use a database system. Now we should have a look at what really is a database system. Database system. It comprises of two elements. One is a database and another is a database management system. If we talk about database, it is an ordered collection of information stored and read electronically from a computing system. For example, Flipkart. Flipkart stores data of its customers when they log into their account, what products they search for, their browsing history. This all data is stored at a server as a database. And further, database is also of two types, structured database and unstructured database. Structured database is where we can store data in a particular structure, whereas for unstructured data, there is no particular structure to store data. For example, web page, which is a collection of images, videos, text, which has no particular format, is a form of unstructured database. In fact, today 90% of the data on the planet is unstructured, whereas structured data is stored in a particular structure, that is tables. And the best example for structured databases is Relational Database System, RDBMS, which stores data in form of relations, that is tables. And if a user wants to access the data or want to perform some operations on the data, DBMS is the entity which allows users to perform different operations on data. And to perform these operations, they are available with different versions of database management systems like MySQL, SQLite, PostgreSQL, and Oracle database. So now we will see what advantages DBMS has through which it has replaced the flat file system. It doesn't mean that the flat file system is not used now. Let's see a scenario. In the 1970s, the data was stored in flat file system and can be accessed there only. Like in our laptops, we also get a flat file system which is inbuilt to be operated by operating systems with drives like CIFS, NFS, and in these drives, data is stored in the hierarchical form. So, what was the need for DBMS? In today's time, we use client-server architecture. Due to this architecture, not only you have access to your data, but if you want to give access to different persons on the planet, you can. Now we will just have a look at what client-server architecture is. In client-server architecture, the data is stored in a centralized location and the users from across the world can access the data. Here, flat file system can't be used. To fulfill this purpose, we have to use DBMS. The reason being is when we search for data, for example, a particular product on Flipkart, it will show the results in seconds. But if we have to search the same product in flat file system, we have around 50 GB of data of products. And when we use DBMS, it has stored the 50 GB data at Flipkart server. Now, user will just write a simple query through SQL and get the data about the particular product. Searching is fast and memory utilization is efficient. And not only this, when we have to search for a file in flat file system, we should know the attributes of file, like its location, name, with the metadata. Metadata, it's the data about the data, that is, data about particular file. But in DBMS, user does not know where data is stored. We just send a request and the request is sent to server and we can access the data. Now we will see why DBMS. And the first thing we will see is concurrency. Multiple people access the data at same time. For example, when you are accessing the application of Flipkart, there are multiple users who are accessing the application and searching for the same product. If it was based on flat file system, it won't be possible. DBMS has protocols for concurrency. Security. Security, also known as role-based security. If we have data and to access that data, different users have different access. This is role-based access control. Whereas flat file system is operated by operating system which has no role-based security protocol and particular data is visible. Data redundancy. It means duplicacy in file system. We can store same content with different file names in flat file system. whereas DBMS has protocols and keys to tackle these problems. That's why DBMS is used for client-server architecture. Now, we will see the components of DBMS: hardware, software, data, procedures, and database access language. Let's have a simple diagram to see how all they fit together to form a database management system, and let's dive into these components. Hardware. When we say hardware, we mean computer, hard disk, input-output channels for data, and any other physical component involved before any data is successfully stored into the memory. When we run Oracle or MySQL on a personal computer, then the computer's hard disk, our keyboard, using which we type in all the commands, our computer's RAM, ROM, all becomes a part of the DBMS hardware. Software. This is the main component, as this is the program which controls everything. The DBMS software is more like a wrapper around the physical database, which provides us with an easy-to-use interface to store, access, and update data. The DBMS software is capable of understanding the database access language and interpret it into actual database commands to execute them on the database. Data. Data is that resource for which DBMS was designed. The motive behind the creation of DBMS was to store and utilize data. In a typical database, the user saves data in present and metadata is stored. Metadata is data about the data. This is information stored by the DBMS to better understand the data stored in it. For example, when I store my name in a database, the DBMS will store when the name was stored in the database, what is the size of the name, is it stored as related data to some other data, or is it independent? All this information is metadata. Procedures. Procedures refer to general instructions to use a database management system. This includes procedures to set up and install a DBMS, to log in and log out of DBMS software, to manage databases, to take backups, generating reports, etc. Database access language. Database access language is a simple language designed to write commands to access, insert, update, and delete data stored in any database. A user can write commands in the database access language and submit it to the DBMS for execution, which is then translated and executed by DBMS. User. User can create new databases, tables, insert data, fetch, store data, update data, and delete the data using the access language. Now we'll see types of database management systems. We have quite many databases, but we will discuss few. First is hierarchical model. This type of DBMS employs the parent-child relationship of storing data. Its structure is like a tree with nodes representing records and branches representing fields. The Windows registry used in Windows XP is a hierarchical database example. Network model. This type of DBMS supports many-to-many relations. It usually results in complex database structures. RDM server is an example of database management system that implements the network model. Relational model. This type of database defines database relationships in the form of tables. It is also called relational DBMS, which is the most popular DBMS type in the market. Database example of the RDBMS system include MySQL, Oracle, and Microsoft SQL Server database. Object-oriented model. This type of computer's database supports the storage of all data types. The data is stored in the form of objects. The objects to be held in the database have attributes and methods that define what to do with the data. PostgreSQL is an example of an object-oriented relational DBMS.
If getting your learning started is half the battle, what if you could do that for free? Visit SkillUp by Simplilearn. Click on the link in the description to know more.
Now we come to the applications of DBMS. There are different industries having the application of DBMS. Like telecom industry. There is a database to keep track of the information regarding calls made, network usage, customer details, etc. Without the database systems, it is hard to maintain that huge amount of data that keeps updating every millisecond. Manufacturing industry, where it is a manufacturing unit, warehouse, or distribution center. Each one needs a database to keep the records of ins and outs. For example, distribution center should keep a track of the product units that supplied into the center as well as the products that got delivered out from the distribution center on each day. This is where DBMS comes into picture. Banking system. For storing customer info, tracking day-to-day credit and debit transactions, generating bank statements, etc. All this work has been done with the help of database management systems. Sales. To store customer information, product information, and invoice details. Airlines. To travel through airlines, we make early reservations. This reservation information along with flight schedule is stored in database. Education sector. Database systems are frequently used in schools and colleges to store and retrieve the data regarding student details, staff details, course details, exams details, payroll data, attendance details, fee details, etc. This is a hell lot amount of interrelated data that needs to be stored and retrieved in an efficient manner. Online shopping. You must be aware of the online shopping websites such as Amazon, Flipkart, etc. These sites store the product information, your addresses and preferences, credit details, and provide you the relevant list of products based on your query. All this involves a database management system. Compared to the flat file system data, the database management system has many advantages. Some of these advantages are reducing data redundancy. The file-based data management systems contain multiple files that were stored in many different locations in a system or even across multiple systems. Because of this, there were sometimes multiple copies of the same file, which lead to data redundancy. This is prevented in a database as there is a single database and any change in it is reflected immediately. Because of this, there is no chance of encountering duplicate data. Sharing of data. In a database, the users of the database can share the data among themselves. There are various levels of authorization to access the data, and consequently, the data can only be shared based on the correct authorization protocols being followed. Many remote users can also access the database simultaneously and share the data between themselves. Data integrity. Data integrity means that the data is accurate and consistent in the database. Data integrity is very important as there are multiple databases in a DBMS. So, it is necessary to ensure that the data is correct and consistent in all the databases and for all the users. Data security. Data security is a vital concept in a database. Only authorized users should be allowed to access the database and their identity should be authenticated using a username and password. Unauthorized users should not be allowed to access the database under any circumstances as it violates the integrity constraints. Privacy. The privacy rule in a database means only the authorized users can access a database according to its privacy constraints. There are levels of database access and a user can only view the data he is allowed to. For example, in social networking sites, access constraints are different for different accounts a user may want to access. Backup and recovery. Database management system automatically takes care of backup and recovery. The users don't need to backup data periodically because this is taken care of by the DBMS. Moreover, it also restores the database after a crash or system failure to its previous condition. Data consistency. Data consistency is ensured in a database because there is no data redundancy. All data appears consistently across the database and the data is the same for all the users viewing the database. Moreover, any changes made to the database are immediately reflected to all the users and there is no data inconsistency. Now we see what are the disadvantages of DBMS. First is high cost. The high cost of software and hardware is the main disadvantage of the database management system. Database users require a high-speed processor and a huge memory to use the database on the DBMS. Sometimes users require costly machines for maintaining databases. Organizations need a trained and highly paid technical database administrator for using and maintaining large database systems. Huge size. The size of the database is not big at the initial state. But when the user stores a large amount of data, then it creates many problems. Due to the huge data, database systems do not provide good results and do not run efficiently. That's why the size is another limitation of the database systems. Database failure. In the database systems, all the data or information of an organization is stored in one centralized database. If the database of that organization fails, then the data is lost and the organization will collapse. So database failure is a big problem with the database management system. Complexity. Database management system is also complex for non-technical users. So it isn't easy to manage and maintain database systems. Therefore, training for the designers, users, and administrators is necessary to efficiently run the database systems. Now, we will have a look at some popular database management softwares like MySQL, SQLite, PostgreSQL, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle Database, and IBM Database 2. With that, we have come to the end of this session. I hope it was interesting and informative. If you liked it, please let us know in the comment section below. Also, do subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more from Simply Learn.
Okay. So, yan yung ating bagong topic, no? DBMS. Okay. Ano raw yung DBMS? Doon sa inyong narinig. Anong sabi sa inyo? Ano na pick up nyo?
Application software daw po, ma'am, para po makapag-perform ng various operations po ng data.
Okay. So, now, dito sa ating tulad nga ng sinabi ko, hihimay-himayin natin ngayon kung ano yung gagamitin natin na DBMS. So, yung DBMS software na gagamitin natin, yung iba, naka-access kayo. Yung iba, naka SQLite, no? So, yun yung DBMS natin, no? Which is yung access nga, no? So, magpo-focus tayo sa access. Dun sa ating introduction na video, binigyan lang natin ng introduction kung ano yung software na DBMS na pwede nating magamit para ma-manage ang isang data. Halimbawa, yung sample niya dyan is sa mga empleyado, no? O kung saan man siya ginagamit, no? Or sa retail. Now, wait lang. Ako ay, ano ba yung nakashare sa akin? Ano nakashare? Yung video, no? Okay. Teka, i-stop ko lang yung sharing para ma-share ko yung ating pag-uusapan, which is yung DBMS. Entire screen para diretso tayo sa ating paggamit ng access. Paki-ready na rin yung inyong mga access. Gagamitin natin. Yung iba, wala munang SQLite kasi nga may issue tayo dun sa SQLite. Okay. So, ito yung ating topic, DBMS software. Okay. So, yung DBMS software, yan ay may iba-ibang feature. Katulad dyan ng access na ginagamit natin. Yan yung ating DBMS na gagamitin for this timeline. Okay? So, please launch yung inyong access. Ilo-launch ko na rin yung access. Okay, so siya yung gagamitin natin. Siya yung ating pinaka-DBMS for now. Okay. para doon sa walang DBMS na magagamit, which is yung SQLite, dahil nga may issue yung ating SQLite. Trinay ko na, wala pa rin, hindi pa rin siya, ayaw pa rin siyang mag-update, di ko siya mabuksan, no? Yung muna, yung Excel muna. Okay. So, we will create table, we will create form, we will get familiarized with the SQL editor of Access coded, no? Ayan. So, let's try to open Access with a blank database. Access. Okay. Open. Okay, so cancel ko lang ito. Okay, blank database. Pangalanan natin. Anong nyo? Anong section nyo? 2D? Tama? BS0A 2D. Okay, so gagawa tayo ng database for your section. Ayan, create. Okay, may pangalan na tayo. Ayan, so, nag-open na tayo ng blank database sa Access. So, ito ro yung gagawin natin. We will create table, we will create query, we will create form, create report. Ayan. So, bago tayo unahin muna natin yung pag-create ng table. Okay? So, kung naka-open na yung nyo. Okay? Ito naman ay nagawa na natin before. But anyway, gawin natin ulit. No? So, we have now a blank. Okay? So, ang table na i-create natin for our activity is yung database nyo ng estudyante. No? So, dahil ito yung nakapangalan sa section ninyo, okay, create tayo ng first column natin, no? Ang column natin, una muna is yung ID, and then, dito tayo sa long text, no? Okay. So, since ang i-create natin na database para dito sa ating activity, ay para sa inyo. So, this will have a name. Okay. So, una, first name. First name. Okay. Alright. Another long text. Last name. Tapos, ano pa ba yung mga information na importante? Okay. Long text na lang para long text para mahaba. Isang mahabang ilalagay na lang. Okay. Address. Hindi na natin hahati-hatiin yung address. Isang buong address. Ayan. Tapos, ano pa ba ang pertinent? Birthday. Para meron tayong date. Birthday. Birthday. So, this is naka-date to. Okay. Date. Yes? Sino yun?
Huwag kang nambubulot sa computer.
Sino yun? Anong meron? Bakit nag-ano? May nag-react? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Medyo naguluhan lang ako. Contact number. Okay. So, this is short text na lang. Contact number. Sige, short text na lang. Contact number. Para pwedeng unlimited. Pag number kasi 10 item lang eh. Hindi pa niya tatanggapin yung 0. So para wala tayong issue. Pareho lang yan. Contact number and another short text. Contact email. Email na lang. Email. Okay. So, ayan. Tayo ay nag-create ng table. Yung ating table ay it's a data about students. Okay? So, ano yung ating kinolect na data? First name, last name, address, birthday, contact number, at saka email. Ayan. Tapos, lagyan natin dito ng attachment. Ayan. Okay. Wala lang. Picture halimbawa. No? Ayan. Okay. So, ganito gagawin natin, no? So, una, nagawa na natin yung next, no? Naka-create na tayo ng table. Teka, i-save natin para okay. Save. Okay. So, yung table natin ay pangalanan natin ng BS0A 2D. 2D kayo, no? Class? 2D. Tama ba?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. So, ayan, meron na tayong pangalan, no? Na-create na natin yung ating table. Okay. Ano na siya? Okay. Next tayo ay mag-create ng query. Ano raw yung query? Specifically, ayan. Now, para tayo makapag-create ng query, tayo ay maglalagay ng data, no? Lagyan natin ng data. Tingnan natin yung ating attendance. Since ito yung ating magiging data. So, ganito gawin nyo. Dun sa ating attendance, dito makikita nyo dun sa ating listahan. So, 44 tayo ngayon. Actually, 43. Dahil dalawa yung sa akin. So, 43. Kung ano yung nakalagay na nakalista, isulat natin, no? Okay. Saan yan? Abby. Sino yung nasa unahan? Abigail Camaso. Okay. Okay. Sulat natin si Abby. Abigail. Tapos, Camaso. Address. Abigail. Address. Abigail, address. Abi, pwede kang magsalita or pwede kang mag-comment para mailagay natin yung data. Abigail Camaso. Iha. Yes. Address.
Buong address po.
Oo, address. Sige, dikta.
37A po.
37A.
Madre Silva.
Madre Silva.
Silva. Apo. Rojas District, Quezon City po.
Rojas District.
Quezon
QC?
City. Opo, QC.
QC. QC. Para shortcut. Where's Q? QC. Ayan. Okay. Birthday.
September 11 po. 1998.
September is 9 dash, sorry.
11.
9 dash 11 dash
1998
teka.
po.
Yung aking namlak ay hindi nag-ano. Teka. 9 dash 11 19?
1998 po.
1998. Okay. Okay. Dami. 98. Ayan. Okay. Contact number.
0921
0921
933
933
9470.
9470 0921 933 Okay. Email.
Abby Cruz po.
Abby
Cruz
Okay.
911@gmail.com po.
911. Ilang one? Dalawa?
Dalawa lang po, apo.
At
At gmail.com.
gmail.com. Ayan. Okay. Sige. Mag-a-attach ako. Teka. Kukopyahin natin tong Control A. Ay! Copy. Okay. Dito tayo sa Facebook. Panigurado, nandito ka. Dito. Austin Cruz. Ikaw to, no? Ikaw to?
Hindi po, ma'am.
Hindi mo makita?
Hindi po.
Hindi ikaw to?
Hindi po.
Sino to? Austin Cruz, good things. Wala. Hindi ikaw to? Sino yan?
Hindi po, ma'am.
Tama naman nilagay ko Abby Cruz 911@gmail.com. Freelancing, Harold, IT. Wala. Stella Rose. Sino to? Eto, Ann Cruz. Ikaw ba to?
Hindi rin po, ma'am.
Hindi rin.
Lagay ko na lang po yung link sa ano. Wait lang po.
Hindi pa ba kita nagiging friend? Di pa, no? Nag-send ka ba ng ng file? Nag-send ka ba dati ng file? Hindi pa.
Opo.
Nag-send ka na eh.
Picture lang po dun sa GC.
Picture lang. Kaya, kasi kung nag-send ka directly sa akin, makikita na kita. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pa ikaw nakakapasok dun sa circle ng ano. Sol de la Cruz. Asian Institute Electronics. Abigail de la Cruz. Eto. Ikaw ba to? Abigail de la Cruz? Hindi. Hindi pa rin. Mali pa rin.
Hindi po.
Hindi pa rin. Hindi nga ikaw ito. Okay. Sana yung link na inano mo. Saan mo nilagay? Sa comment?
Wait lang po, ma'am.
Dali. Okay. Ayun. Ayan, hindi pa nga. Okay. Alright. Kunin natin yung picture mo. Save as picture. Okay. Now, i-attach ko yung ano. Ayan. Manage attachment. Add. Okay. Pictures. Asan na yan? Asan na yung picture mo? All files. All files naman ah. Saan ka? Nasaan ka? Sinave ko na. Ay, ba't hindi lumilitaw? Ayun, Abigail. Ayan, Abigail. Open. Ala. Isang buong webpage. Ayan, okay. Okay. So, ganito ang gawin nyo. Ginawa ko na yung unang sample. Pwede kayong mag-usap-usap. Hingin sa comment yung information ng bawat isa. Okay. Kompletuhin natin yung ating database ng ating mga kaklase, no? So, dapat ang mabubuo nyo ay okay, yan yung gawin natin ngayon. Yan yung activity natin. Yung database ng ating section, no? BS0A. Okay, sinampulan ko lang yung una kay yung nakikita nyo ngayon, si Abby. Pero ang gawin nyo, hingin nyo sa mga kaklase ninyo yung data, no? Yung data nila. Tayo ngayon ay yung database natin ngayon ay ilan tayo? Okay, 42. Di ba 44 na kanina? Ano nangyari? Parang nabawasan. Ayan. So, ituloy nyo to. Isunod nyo si Akabo, followed by Alisa, hanggang kay naka-alphabet naman to hanggang kay Seth Garcia, no? So, tayo ay mag-e-encode. Encode na. Hingin nyo yung information via comment, no? Kung ako sa inyo, you go by the name doon sa listahan natin dito sa sa ating Google Meet, no? Makikita nyo naman yun, doon sa listahan, no? So, isa-isahin nyo na to. Hingin nyo yung information sa inyong mga kaklase. And you can either teka lang. Meron bang listahan sa ating sino nga yung in charge sa sa attendance natin?
Yes po, ma'am. Ako po, ma'am.
Pwede mong i-share yung Excel doon sa sa GC para magamit ng kaklase mo.
Okay po, ma'am.
Para
Sige po, ma'am. Ma'am, meron po akong with details nila. With complete address, birthday, I have database po.
Ay,
Ng
okay.
buong section.
Good,
Yun na
good.
lang po isend ko sa kanila.
Send mo. Para madali nang kukopihin
Okay
na
po,
lang.
ma'am.
Ayan, that's better.
Sige po, ma'am. Wait lang po.
I-share sa GC para mas madali nating matatapos tong ating ating ginagawa. Kasi i-query natin to kaya kailangan natin ng data. Stop sharing ko to. Ayan. Okay, class. Yung abangan nyo lang yung data doon sa sa GC. Okay. Sinabi ko i-share para madali nyong mapipilapan yung yung ating database na ginagawa. Nakaabang din ako Ayan, na-share na yung data. Paki-download yung data at pilapan natin yung ating ating database. I mean yung access. Yan. Kompleto. 46 pala tayo. Okay. Ayan, nandun na yung paki-fill up na yung natin, yung ating database. Kompleto to, pati contact number. Okay. database. Ayan. Pa-fill up na to. And then, next na gagawin natin ay mag-query. Sabihin nyo kung tapos na. Okay. Okay. Kumusta? Halfway na ba?
Hindi pa po tapos
Di ba? O sige, diretso lang. Minamanipulate ko kasi sa database yung ano, para makapag-query tayo. Ano nangyari? Bakit parang nawala ako? Naputol. Nawala ako. Natarduhan ko. Ba yan? Yan. Okay. Kaya pala walang sumasagot sa akin. No, nawala ako. Dali ha. Right. 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 Tinatawagan ka raw ni Allen. Tinatawagan ka ni Allen. Dito ka. Okay. Alright. Uli. Okay. Cut pala. Okay. Ayun na. Tapos, ito lang kasi yung data ko. Dapat, asan na yun? Okay, dagdagan ko. Ari ko. Tapos address ni Batas. Birthday niya. Contact number. Email. Isa pa. Okay. Pwede na? Ano class? Tapos na? Hello? Hello class, kumusta? Di pa rin tapos?
Di pa rin.
Di pa? Paano yun? Di ba copy-paste lang naman yung gagawin natin? Or nahihirapan kayo mag-copy-paste?
Ma'am, kasi po nauna po yung surname po sa data, kaya po nahirapan po. I-encode po namin
Ine-encode
yung
nyo
name.
ng ano? Kinakopy nyo ng isa-isa? Okay. O, sige. Okay. Okay, habang ginagawa nyo yan, papakita ko kung paano mag-query. Yun yung next. Okay. So, meron akong dalawang data dito. Magko-query tayo. Design view. Query. Simple query. Simple query wizard. Okay. Yung first name at saka last name. Okay. So, i-query natin yung first name at saka last name. And then, next. Next. Okay. Open query information. Finish. Okay. Ayan. So, yun yung query. Ang ilalabas niya ay first name at last name. Alright. Okay. So, nag-query tayo. Ayan. So, ito yung code ng ating query. Ang query natin ay yung first at saka yung last name. First and last name. Ayun. Nag-query ako. So, pinalabas ko ay first name at saka last name. So, itong dalawa ang lumabas sa query. Okay. So, nakapag-query ako. Right. Sige, hintayin ko kayo. Bago tayo mag-run ng query. Simple query lang yung ginawa ko. Ayan na. Natake na ako ng aking sipon. Oo. Bakit ka nalaglag? Tutulog din. Tulog. Tulog ka. So, nag-run ako ng query. Pakita ko lang sa inyo. So, ito yung data na meron ako. So, nag-run ako ng query. Okay. Ito yung lumabas sa query. Okay. I-close ko lang siya. So, ang pinalabas ko ay cut natin. Ayan. Okay. So, ito lang yung available na data ko. So, magra-run ako ng query. Nakikita nyo ba yung screen ko? Okay. I-ready niyo yan para sa gagamitin natin, no? So, magra-run ako ng query. Simple ano lang to ha. Simple query lang. Create. Ayan. Create a query. Ano natin si query wizard. So, simple query lang. Ayan. Okay. So, ang gusto kong palabasin ay first name at okay, ilalagay ko si first name. Mauna si first name. Susundan ng last name. Ayan. So, ito yung aking query. Simple query. Next. Ayan. Pwede nyo lagyan ng pangalan. Okay. Finish. Ayan. So, nag-run na yung query. Ang gusto ko kasing lumabas sa aking query ay yung first name at saka last name. So, ito yung ating ito yung lumabas, no? So, si query, ginagawa siya para maghimay ng data, no? So, ang gusto mong ipalabas ay yung first name at saka last name. So, yan yung aking query. Now, para makita nyo yung code, SQL. Ito, output na to, ha? Ayan. Yan yung code. Yan yung code. Okay? Yan yung programming code ng ating query. At para makita natin yung output, i-run lang natin. Ayan. So, depende yan kung ano yung gusto nyong palabasing data. Ang gusto ko lang palabasin ay first name at saka last name. Eh, since dadalwa lang naman yan na naka-encode, dalawa lang yung lumabas. So, maganda pagka nakompleto nyo yun sa inyo, pwede kayong mag-create ng query. Depende kung anong gusto nyong palabasin. No? So, yan. Nag-query na ako. Okay. So, kumusta na yung data nyo? Di pa tapos? Di pa tapos? Kumusta? Malapit na? Malapit na?
Sa pa lang po, ma'am.
Wait lang, hawakan mo lang. Mamaya magawa na. Wait lang muna tayo.
Ano pong yan?
Sleep na. Bakit ba yun?
Wait lang.
Hindi na.
Paano nga ba mag-ano dito? Power pivot.
Ano na, awal?
Marami talaga. Nag-ubos na talaga ng... Sinabi ako, pinipilit pa. Sinulungin mo na ng tubig. Ano pa yung bibigyan sa ano? Bumili ako ng gamot. Wala nang ba, Jessie? Kami na nag-ubos. Ikaw. Dapat bumili ka na ganun. Bored naman yung boss mo. Bakit? Ano yun? Ito, baby.
Siya show lang naman eh. Paano nga ba pagka-show? Create a selection. Ano mo lang naman ito. Ang sakit na lalamunan ko. Show formula. Paano nga ba mag-ano dito? Okay, so nagawa ko na yun. Tapos, next is create a form. Create a form. Form na siya. Tapos, okay. There's the form. Layout view. Now let's layout view. Tapos, form view. There's a form view. Ayun, design view. This is query, this is for view and form view. And then, ano pa yung next report? Ayan. Same same query. Manager. Ini-report pagka nabuo. Okay. Okay. Class, we need to move along. Sige. Okay lang kahit hindi kompleto yung data nyo. Let's try using it. Hello, everyone. Everyone.
Yes po.
Let's try using it. Siguro sufficient na yan kasi meron lang tayong kailangan gawin. No? Kailangan natin siyang gamitin sa ating pagki-query. No? Okay. I-share ko lang yung aking yung aking screen. So, follow along. Okay. Access to ha. Hindi tayo makagamit ng SQLite kasi sira ngayon yung SQLite. Ayaw mag-update. Hindi ko mabuksan. Hindi ko rin magamit. Okay. So, ito yung available na data. Most likely, mas marami yun sa inyo, no? Dahil na-encode nyo na yung ibang nyo, no? So, ang natin, nakapag-create na tayo ng table base dito sa ating sinusundang we will create a query, no? What is a query? A query is something that you would like to be out, no? Be shown to you, no? So, itong query natin, okay, madali lang para maranasan nyo lang mag-create ng query, no? Base dyan sa meron na kayo, no? So, just a sample. Onti lang itong sa akin, and I'd like you to show me what you have in your access, no? But this is the query that I'd like you to make, no? Okay. So from your access, okay. Punta tayo sa saan ba yun? Teka lang. Wait. Create. Okay. Doon sa nakikita nyo ba yung screen ko? Kita nyo? Okay. So, gusto kong makita kung ano yung gusto nyong palabasin. No, ito yung gusto kong lumabas dyan sa merong data na available meron kayo, no? Kung sinundan nyo tong ating column, ito yung lilitaw, no? So, doon sa create, dito, no? Sa create, okay, you make a query wizard. Okay, you click query wizard. And then, simple lang yung naandun sa choice, simple. Simple lang yung gagawin din natin kasi simple lang naman yung palalabasin natin na data. So, ang gusto kong palabasin nyo dyan ay yung first name. Ayan. and then last name. Okay. And then contact number. Ayan. So, tatlong data yung lalabas dyan. And then, next. Okay. Pwede nyong lagyan ng pangalan. Pwede nyong paltan. Data query. Halimbawa, nasa inyo yan. Kung ano yung gusto nyong palabasan, usually yan yung ano. And then, finish. Ayan. So, eto yung kinwiri nyo na gusto nyong palabasin. Gusto nating palabasin yung first name, last name, at saka contact number. Ayan. So, para makita nyo yung code ng query na yan, i-right click nyo yan, tapos SQL view. Ayan. So, yan yung code para lumabas yung query na gusto nyo, no? Ayan. This is what you need later on dun sa ating next na yung SQL, which is yung ating next topic. This is just a sample of the code. Now, para makita nyo yung output nyan, click nyo lang yung run. Ayan. So, ito na yung output nung query na yan. Now, para makita nyo yung mismong query na iniran ninyo, SQL view. Ayan. So, yan yung code. No? Yan yung code nyo pagka magpo-program kayo ng mano-mano. No? Pero ito kasi tinulungan tayo ng query wizard. No? Ayan. Okay. So, tingnan ko nga. Nakuha nyo ba yung aking ginawa? Gusto nyo ulitin ko? Isa pa.
Okay po, ma'am. Okay na po.
Nakuha nyo? Tingnan ko nga kung ano yung lumabas dun sa inyong query. Kung gaano kadami. Pa-share nung nung inyong output. It doesn't matter kung hindi nyo natapos yung loading. Ang importante, merong data dyan. Sige. Share natin. That's our first. Tingnan ko nga yung query. Sino pwedeng unang mag-share?
Try ko po, ma'am.
Sige, Edna. So, kung makita yung yung hanggang saan yung na-encode nyo. Sa ating DBMS, we need to accomplish those things, no? Makapag-query tayo, makapag-create tayo ng form, at makapag-create ng report. Ayan. Sige. Si Edna nagsishare na. Anong query mo? Sinundan mo yung query? Ayan. So, ayan, tama yung query mo, no? Punta ka doon sa mismong title, yung query, right click, yes, correct, and then SQL view. Ayan. So, ayan yung ating code. Pinakita ko lang sa inyo, yung code na yan, yan yung gagamitin natin doon sa next na, next topic natin, no? Yan. So, okay, para makita mo yung output niyan, run mo lang. Ayan. So, yan yung ating gustong maging output, no? Kailangan nating makita yung first name, last name, at saka contact number. O, diba? Ang dami niya nang natapos. Baba mo nga. Tingnan natin. Ayun. So, hanggang kay Sophia Jasmine na siya. Okay. Salamat. Okay. Another one. Sino pa ang pwedeng mag-share? Tawag natin.
Ako po, ma'am.
Sige, Mylene, patingin. Mag-query ka nga. Sige, right click. SQL view. Ayan. Yan yung code na gagamitin mo, no? Pagka, sample ng coding. Sandali. Ingat paglabas para hindi makalabas yan. Salamat. Okay. One more. Sino pa? Tigeran mo. Ayan. So, ayan yung output. No? Pag nagko-query tayo, class, yung gusto nating makita, no? Sinasala niya lang kung ano yung gusto nating makita. Kaya tayo nagko-query, no? Yan ay para mas madaling masala yung data na gusto mong mabasa, no? Ayan. Okay. Next. Sino pang isa pa? Isa pa para next is yung form. Isa pang pwede magpakita ng ng query niya.
Ako po.
Ano lang po, ma'am?
Sino sa inyo?
Don't, ikaw na lang.
Oh, Kenneth, ikaw na lang daw.
Okay po.
Anong nangyari? Kenneth. Ayan. Okay. Ayan. So,
Kita na po, ma'am.
oo. So, yung query mo, tingnan ko nga. I-right click mo. Sige. SQL
Tapos po,
view.
enter. Okay po.
SQL view. Ayan. So, yan yung code na gagamitin natin pagka nag-ano tayo, no? Sample yan ng code na pagka SQL query tayo. Now, i-run mo nga. Ayan. So, yan yung output nung nung natapos mo. Ayan. Correct. Salamat. Okay. Thank you. Ayan. Okay. So, next naman is yung form. Okay, ako naman ang mag-share. Yung form, ginagamit yan para madaling mag-create ng ng form. Halimbawa, gusto mong gumawa ng resibo. Ayan, no? Resibo. Ayan, pwede mo magamit yung form. Now, so, dalawa yung i-demo ko ha. Yung isa form, yung isa sorry. Kailangan kasi meron ka ng meron ka ng naka-query na nasimula, no? Kasi yan yung magiging basis, no? So, create tapos form. Ayan. Okay. So, ito yung form, no? Yes. Yes?
Time na po.
Ay, oo nga, time na.
Time na po, ma'am.
Anyway, pakita ko lang sa inyo, ito yung form. Ito usually ginagamit pagka gusto mong iporma yung halimbawa resibo or official receipt or mga ganon, no? So, magagawa ka ng pwede nang gumawa ng form, halimbawa. Ayan. So, yan, ganon lang yan. And then, last, yung report. Ayan, report. At yan. So, pwede kang ng report. Ito sana yung maganda, no? Nakahiwa-hiwalay na. Ayan. Okay, class. Ayan. So, time na po tayo. Pinakita ko lang sa inyo. Tutuloy natin to. Kasi ang susunod dito is magpo-program code tayo, no? Yun yung SQL Server coding ng database. Gagamitin natin yung CRUD. Yung CRUD, C-R-U-D-S. Yan. So, ito yung mga programming tools na gagamitin natin next time. Kaya as much as possible, alam ko dapat ready na yung ating data kasi gagamitin natin yan. So, ito yan, create. Sorry. Katapos ito, tapos na tayo, no? Read. Yan. Update. Delete. Ito yung mga code natin. Iniunti-unti ko na kayo para hindi kayo masyadong mabigla pag nag-code na tayo. Select at saka save. Ayan. So kung nakita nyo yung code dito sa ating query, SQL view. Ano nakita nyo yung code? Select, diba? Ayan. So nakagamit na kayo ng unang nyo, no? First code nyo, which is select. Ayan. Which is yan yung ating mga gagamitin. Anyway, yun po. So yun po yung ating mga dapat sana natapos natin yan lahat ngayon. Anyway, so ayan. So yun doon sa ating sa DBMS, moving to our usage of alam niyo na yan, nagawa na natin yan. Ayan. Ayan. So ito yung ginawa natin, no? Yan yung form wizard, no? Yung query. Ayan. Okay. So, yun po. Kaya pinag-ano ko na kayo ng activity natin. Ayan. Pwede pong paki-finish nyo na lang yan. Tapos, tutuloy natin yung ating discussion. No? Okay. Sige po. Okay. Lang. Right. Okay. Stop presenting. Nakita nyo yon kung paano gumawa ng form at saka ng report class?
Yes po,
Yes,
ma'am.
okay. So, gagawin natin yan next meeting. But, I'm happy na nakapag-query kayo, which is one of the things that we need to accomplish. At least, nakita nyo yung concept ng pagkuquery. Nakita nyo yung kung ano yung code ang gagamitin pag magkuquery. Ayan. Okay. Tapos, sige, kukunan ko kayo ng print screen. Attendance. Syempre, 'di ba? Medyo slow si Miss Payne dahil may sakit. Hindi maalala ko anong sasabihin. Ayan. Okay, kukunan ko na po ng video para sa ating sa ating attendance. Oh, Kurt, wala kang picture, letter K lang 'yan. At saka si Allison May Villarmino, may video ba kayo? Pakibuksan po yung inyong mga video para po sa ating attendance. One time, big time lang. Ayan. Allison. Ayan. Ayan na si Allison. Ayan. Okay. Sige, kukunan ko na kayo ng ng video. Ng picture. Okay? Alright. 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ayan. Salamat. Ayan. Binalisan ko na. Ayan. Teka lang sandali. I-save ko lang. Ayan. Okay, nakasave na. Okay. Salamat na marami. Ayan. Medyo masyado tayong maraming ginagawa ngayong kasi database to. Medyo kailangan active ha. Ayan. So, yung inyong pong ginawa, pakisave po yan dahil gagamitin natin yan ulit at tayo gagawa ng form at report, no? Na next, magko-code tayo using SQL codes. Ayan. So, magpo-program kayo ng database. Ayan. Sige. So, yun lamang. Salamat ng marami. Kita-kits ulit tayo next meeting.
Okay po, ma'am. Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you rin.
Thank you po.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you rin.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you rin. Saan ba yung aking... Ayan.